Diane, who did her very first webinar, says true things can go wrong, but you just make lemons into lemonade. You bet. You bet. And plus, it's also, Diane, when you do, the more you do, the more you know you've set things up right. And look, technology, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So sometimes this thing's beyond your control. But when you've done everything you can for the webinar to go great, just like you do a live presentation, you do your best. And if stuff happens, it happens. And it's the way you deal with it, right? It's the way you deal with it. And I will tell you something, that I'm gearing up for a busy fall season. I'm a professional speaker, so I have a series of speaking gigs. And here, local. My first one is local here in August. Then I hit the road. But I know whenever I do a speaking gig, and I get paid really good money to do it, that I can do all the prep and be 100% ready. But there's always going to be something. A little technology glitch, a change to the schedule, a microphone that was different than what was anticipated. You name it, I've experienced it all. So Diane, for you and everybody, when you set up and you do all the preparation you can to get ready for a big event, you still have to go into it knowing and expecting something to go wrong. So when it does, you're like, okay, with a solution, versus emotionally saying, what do I do? What do I do? Something went wrong. And it's not your fault. And even if it is, because I've forgotten, I went on the road and I forgot my dongle. Oy vey, what's this dongle? A dongle is what you connect to the Mac that connects to the projector and projects on a big screen. That's what a dongle is. It's a $60 dongle, thank you, Apple, that if you leave it home, you're in trouble. So last sip, but we're going to get going. Welcome, everybody. Today is May 19th. I am Stuart Cohen, your host with the most, getting ready for my own personal vacation with my family. We're going to the new Moon Palace Jamaica Grand. Have you been? I can't wait. Very excited. Whole family's going, including my mom, including Kimberly's parents, too. But I just want to let you know that that I'm not going to be doing an Ask Stuart Hour from Moon Palace, Jamaica. Not going to happen, because in more likelihood, I will be drinking mojitos versus coffee, and I don't think you want me giving business coaching in that state of mind. And plus, I have warned everybody, especially the kids, that if I see them spending too much time on their iPhones, I will eliminate the iPhones. They'll end up in the Caribbean Sea. So therefore, I am going on vacation. So our next one is going to be June 9th and June 21. We've got special guests. We'll talk about it. Well, welcome everybody. It's time to get going. Just checking in last posts, and I do have a couple of things that I want to address that have been sent in. If you have a question, you have an issue, you have something good you want to share, you have something not so good you want to share about your business, about your group business, please bring it. That's what I'm here for. Ask me anything. This is unscripted, and you never know what's coming your way. And I think we have a few guests on, and I want to welcome our guests. I invited them to come and see, because they may have interest in becoming a boot camp member. So every once in a while I'll say, hey, come and be my guest and see what we do here. And I actually, Patty's in the house. Welcome, Patty. It's great to have you back. Levon is one of our guests. Hey, that's so cool. Thanks for coming. So here's the deal, Levon. You can type in a question. You can type in a comment to somebody else's issue, or you can just be a fly on the wall and listen. But here's what we do here. It's live business coaching. I'm so grateful that you're here. Deb is here. Good morning, Deb. Welcome. All right, here we go. I'm going to, anybody's typed in a question first, and I don't see it, but get ready, everybody. Type it in. But like I said, you could just listen, absorb, get ideas, get solutions, or bring it. And if you want your microphone turned on, type that in. Please turn mic on, or turn mic on. And before I do it, I will tell you, I will give you a heads up, so I don't accidentally turn on the mic in the middle of you sneezing or yawning. Yawning. Wow, that's an interesting word. How do you spell yawning? Y-A-R-N-I-N-G. Yawning. All right, this one in from our great friend Sam from where is it? Travel and Good Company, and Sam contributes a lot. Very, very grateful, Sam. Thank you so much. And this is her topic. Her topic has to be about public speaking. She says, would it be possible for one of your Stuart Hours to give best tips for public speaking, and also about how to go about finding speaking gigs? I'm not sure we're going to get to finding speaking gigs on this, but I'm happy to talk about public speaking. So what I'd like to know from you guys, and again, you know I'm going to jump around to a lot of titles, and because I want to make sure you're here, you're giving me your time, that I give you my time too. So type in your questions so we can keep bouncing around and back and forth and stuff. But I want to take this on. She said that she was asked to speak in front of a junior league luncheon at a request of one of her friends, right, Sam? And that they average about 200 to 300 people at a regular monthly luncheon. And Sam has been invited to be a guest speaker at one of the luncheons. So here's the key question. My friend, I want to know, this is Sam saying, if I think I can speak in front of 50 people, which you've done before, why not 5 or 6 times more people? So Sam wants to know just one of the key questions, then we'll talk more about some of my best tips about public speaking. Does the size of the audience matter when you're doing public speaking? Does the speaker need to plan a different program to approach the higher number? So I want to take that on right now, and the question is, I need to, honest to goodness, to me, the larger the audience, the more I get excited. If you have a fear of public speaking, you probably feel the opposite. The larger the audience, the more you are afraid. And that's why I do it for a living, because I love being on stage. So the answer to my question is that I would hope you would not get any more fearful based on the number in the audience. Because, and here's one of those tips. The whole idea of you speaking in front of an audience, and let's say you guys, and tell me if you guys done this before. Everybody, we've got a lot of people tuned in. Have you done it? Do you have a tip for Sam? What did you do? What do you do? What would you do? And what I do is this. No matter how many people there, I know, number one, that my goal is to help the people in that audience. They're coming and looking to me for answers, ideas, solutions, motivation. So whether there's a dozen people, because I've done small retreats and small team training programs, tiny groups, or there's 3,000 people, when I've had a sold-out crowd on a cruise ship, and that was my largest audience. Every single seat was sold, okay? My mission is to connect with each and everybody in that audience, whether there's a dozen or 3,000 people, and give them the answers that they've come to hear. Give them the solutions they've come to hear. Because, Sam, it's not about you, it's about them. Now, before I sit in this chair and I take on your questions and issues and comments, honest to goodness, I quiet myself, which I do before I take the stage. I say a little prayer. I take a deep breath. Even this, I did this right before I clicked play. And I say, okay, this is not about me. This is about you. Why are you here? What do you need to hear from me? I want to make sure, and number two, you want to make sure that you're going to give folks information that will transform their lives. I want to do that in today's session. I want to do that the next time we're together too. When I say transform, I mean that you're going to hear an idea. A light bulb's going to go off that you're going to take and apply to your life or to your business. That's going to, number one, you've heard me say this before, because this is what boot camp does, and this is what you do as a professional speaker too. you provide, number one, solutions to reduce risk and stress. And number two, provide solutions to increase value and convenience, whether it's in business or their lives. And number three, to transform them. You've heard me say this, is you can apply it to everything, folks. As a travel professional, what are the three things you do for your client, especially when it comes to a group, and you're going to make a presentation about a group to that group to try to get them interested and involved? Number one, you reduce stress and risk. Number two, you add value and convenience. And number three, you transform. And when I say transform, you take them from okay to good to better to best. Sam, I hope that helps. And let me give you another tip here, because we could talk about this for hours. This is obviously my passion. I love it. And actually, remember I mentioned earlier on that I'm doing mentoring for these founders, for these creators of brand new businesses who are now in a competition to get funding, to get money. It's a startup. It's an accelerator program. Very exciting. I'm going to be their coach, their speaking coach, to help coach them and to prepare for demo day, where they have minutes to make their case to get a whole heck of a lot of money from investors. And it's the biggest minutes of their lives. If they get the money, it could change them forever. If they don't get the money, it will change them forever. And you need to place the same level of importance when you're getting up to making a speech too. Sam, whether you're getting paid for it or not, you want them to remember you when you get off that stage. So a couple more things I want to make sure you say it's for you and everybody here. Before you take the stage, whether it's in a library, whether it's in front of a group of 12 people in a Panera Bread, or whether it's in front of 3,000 people, make sure that the expectations are set so you deliver what you promised you were going to deliver. Because when you put a title and a description out there and they come and sit in that chair, they're coming to hear exactly what you promised you're going to deliver. So make sure you deliver that. Number two, when you're up there, look at everybody's eyes. Even if you've got bright lights shining on you, look in everybody's eyes. And here's the way you overcome a fear of talking to a group of 3,000 versus a group of 12. Okay? You are having a conversation with each individual. Your conversation is not happening to 500 people. You're not talking to 500 people, because then when you look in the audience, you won't look at the people. You'll just look, oh my goodness, look how many people are out there. They're all looking at me. No. You're having a one-on-one conversation. And that's why when I'm on stage, you'll see me. I'm looking at everybody. Down in the front, way in the back, in the cheap seats. Okay? Have a conversation. Don't make a speech to a mirror or to this huge audience. All right. I don't know if you guys want more of that kind of stuff. I'm happy to talk about it because it's my passion. But I want to see what you guys have to say. And Sam, if you're here, I want to be able to answer your questions, and then we're going to go on and see what more questions you have to tackle. Melania is here. Welcome. Hey, I pronounced your name right again, right? That's like 2 weeks in a row. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Melania said she lost the audio because there's storms in her area. I hope it comes back. Carol says, to improve speaking and get more comfortable, join a local Toastmaster club where you can practice your speech, get feedback. The more you do it, the easier it is. That's a great, great recommendation, Carol. Welcome. It's great to have you here. Hey, anybody out there, have you joined a Toastmasters? Any experience you want to share? You know what's the craziest thing, Carol? I've never, ever, ever gone to a Toastmasters meeting. And I want to. I actually looked it up. There's so many here in Memphis. They're everywhere. I would love to go. Especially, I would love to go because I don't want to go because I know that they run this very strict protocol, and I would love to, of course, be a speaking coach. I love it, but of course, you fit into a protocol. But also, it probably would be good for me, like in the weeks leading up to my busy season when I'm setting out, hitting the road, doing speaking gigs. Because you get back into practice. It's what like with anything. You know, when I run, I've run 2 marathons. Not doing that again. They were awesome. But now I'm just going to stick to half marathons. You got to practice. Even though I've done them before, you have to practice. You have to train. Even though I've done hundreds of live keynotes and workshops before, I got to practice. And there, you know, the summer, it's a very quiet period. I have these, so it keeps me loose, keeps me limber, gets my brain going. But the more I'm speaking, the better I get. It cascades in a positive direction. I hope that helps, Carol. And not doesn't help, but Carol, thank you for sharing your Toastmasters observation. Diane says, hello, Diane. By the way, I'm going to read your comment here, Diane. I don't know about all webinar programs, but any meeting has a practice mode so you can hear yourself present before the live event. That's great. So I guess, Diane, you're using any meeting, and that's one word, everybody, right? That's the program, any meeting. I don't know about all webinar programs, but any has a practice mode so you can hear yourself present before the event. That's great, and I think that's great to do. And something that I learned from is listening myself and watching, because I try to videotape myself and record myself always. I learn a lot. I'll tell you right now, one of the things that I'm always constantly working on stopping is when not only I'm on stage, but when I'm doing a webinar and I say, it's sort of like a filler. It drives me bananas when I do it, when I hear myself do that. But I have to keep listening myself, and I'm going to keep training myself so that I don't do it. So that's a great suggestion. By the way, I was turned on to my friend Nolan. You guys know Nolan Burris, a great friend of mine and mentor. There's a new program out there, new software that's supposed to be less expensive than GoToWebinar, which is what I use, and would make it a lot more accessible for you guys to use, because I'm such a big believer when you're doing your groups and they're not local, you want to do your presentations like this. It worked for me in my river cruise. Diane, did it work for you when you did it? And you know, and I know but do some practice runs, folks. Do it for friends, do it for family, do it for one other person. So you can mess up and go, wait, let me start again. I got to push this button. Oops, my screen isn't right, you know. Like I said, when you do a webinar, there's so many intricacies. But man, if you want to sell the daylights out of a group, you'll do group launch sequence, everybody. And for those of you who are here as my guest, group launch sequence is something I invented. It's in boot camp. It's new. I added it in like February or March or so, and it just totally blows away the old, outdated, old school, dull, ineffective promotional methods that we've been doing for 1,000,000 years, where you open for sale and then you hustle to get your promotional materials out, and you start your promotions, and after you have to try to build momentum. What I say, that's bass backwards. You got to flip it. Group launch sequence teaches us to flip it. You're going to do all your promotions before you ever offer to take $1. Before. It's a whole sequence of events. It's phenomenal. And Diane, by the way, while we're on it, you put this onto Facebook. And by the way, if you guys are not in our Facebook community, please be there, do it, post your stuff there. I love it when you guys interact with each other and help. I learn from you guys. It's best practices sharing, and it's awesome. Thank you. And this is what Diane said. I thought the Whisper campaign wasn't going to work, but I committed to following the entire process exactly for the first time. I'm so glad I did. People are coming out of the woodwork. I'll read that again. I'm so glad I did. People are coming out of the woodwork. Diane, thanks for sharing that, Diane. That's that Whisper campaign. That's one of the stages, part of the sequence of the group launch sequence. Let's see what else we got here. Carol said you need to check it. It's not strict, but a structure to help folks with planned speeches as well as extemporaneous speaking. That's Toastmasters. Okay, everybody? So it's not strict, but there is a structure to help folks with planned speeches, and I think that's awesome. And by the way, extemporaneous, one of the things that's on my bucket list to do is to do improv. Improv. You can, I'm telling you, you can put me on stage, and you could just give me a subject, and I will speak about it as if I know exactly what I'm talking about, even though it is a load. A load. You're going to have to put your big boots on because I'll be shoveling it. But you'll believe that I think I know what I'm talking about. It's one of my favorite things to do. In fact, if I go into a restaurant and it happens to be nobody there, or if I go into a movie theater, I love going real early when there's nobody there. If you ask my wife, you could ask my kids, I'll go to the front of the theater and I'll make a speech to nobody. Thanks, Carol. I appreciate sharing that. Ruth is here. You get lots of practice at Toastmasters. Do it only if just for the basics and to practice. It helps you get rid of the fillers too. Yeah, great. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you. And welcome to Welcome to the Ask Stuart Hour. I'm so glad you're here. You are a new boot camp member. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you. Seriously. And she's endorsing this Toastmasters. Who else? Who else is doing Toastmasters? It's definitely great to do. Thank you. Dan said, yes, I spoke to people all over the country. Great. So you did it. Wonderful. Fantastic. And if you need, I don't know if the system you're using is recording it for you, but there is software out there that I'm using right now on another computer that's recording the full screen, so you can record it and make it available for everybody to review, or to people who could not attend. GoToWebinar has a built-in feature to do that, but I record it externally. Oh yeah, what was the name of the other options to webinars? I have to look it up. Nolan sent it to me. He said to check it out, and I don't remember offhand. But I'll post it in Facebook. How's that? I'll post it in Facebook. Let me write it on the note here. Facebook, what is new webinar program? You got it. Watch for it in Facebook. I don't remember. But it's supposed to be good, groovy, and less costly. And Diane says, good thing boot camp is not a load. Oh no, it's not a load. Not a load. I'm known for doing that. I could do it with the best of them, but not boot camp. Thank you. Regina is here. Hello, Regina. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I really am. Thank you. Mr. Cohen, please call me Stuart or Stu. Don't ever call me late for dinner. I know you've heard that before, but I mean it. It's true. I never like to miss a meal. I will be putting together a group to go to the Passion Play in 2020. Awesome. I have already started promoting, and I am nowhere near taking money, but I'm getting a list of interested people together. Does this go with your idea? Yes. So, Passion Play 2020, years away, but if you guys know, you probably do, Passion Play doesn't, it only happens a certain number of times. They typically sell out quickly. Space is very limited, and there's folks out there who, if they want to go, they will go. It's either you're in or you're not in, right? This is big stuff. Now, Regina says she's already started promoting and nowhere near taking money, but I'm getting lists of interested people. So yeah. So right now, Regina, as part of the group launch sequence, okay, you want to begin. See, so this is. I don't know if you're in the Whisper campaign, which is save the date, because this is different. This is a really big event. I don't think you want to hold back on announcing what you're doing here, Regina. Right, Diane? In terms of all you other folks who who learn in that Whisper campaign, that you don't release all the details yet. So you're right on the money. Now, I wouldn't immediately release all the details of your package and your pricing, but I would be going nuts letting the world know, unless you have a list, your list, or groups. I mean, obviously, Passion Play is one thing. It's an affinity in and of itself. But I don't want you spending money on advertising, Regina. I want you to have a go-to place. So my question to you is, do you have a list? Do you have a Facebook group? Do you have some place to go where there's a high level of interest? Maybe it's a church group. I don't know. I don't want to see you just flailing and putting it out there and spending money on pay-per-click and advertising. You can do that. But I'd so much rather see you go to whether it's one group or a multiple groups. And then you definitely want to then set up your series of events. And it is within the series of events that you begin to drip out or leak out the specific details. And when I say drip out or leak out, you're going to do it locally, depending on where the group is located that you're talking to, or using webinar technology like we've just been talking about. And you're gonna bring them through that process. And it's not selling. You're not selling, Regina, but you're presenting all the features and benefits, mainly the benefits, because if you only present features, you're doing a lousy job. A feature is nothing without the benefit. Benefit being what's in it for me. Okay, and for those guests here on the Ask Stuart Hour, and for my boot campers, I want to remind you what the sequence of events, and this is a big secret, this is what's worth the thousands of dollars that I'm going to share with you. Before you offer to take any money, and by the way, you will advertise when you will be taking money, what day you will start. But the whole idea is to remove all fears, stress, questions, apprehensions, concerns, issues. So that when the day comes and you say, I'll take your money now, they pay. Okay, because along that process, Regina, if they don't want to go, they're going to be gone. Whoever's hanging around through all of your series of events, they're going to buy when you tell them it's time to buy. Tell me if that helps. Tell me. Patty says that she would pay, she may pay to see me do improv. Well, you might have that chance one day, because I'm telling you, I would love to do it. Truly. Thank you, Patty. You may ask for your money back after, but thanks for paying to get in the door. Diane says, yes, it records, and I'm going to post it on our website and Facebook. Awesome. I'm glad it records. That's critical. Sam says, your comment, it's not about me. And we're going back to that original thing we started with, everybody, about doing that public speaking. And your comment, it's not about me, hit the mark. I think that's what I've been doing. So thanks, Stuart and Boot Campus, for your good advice. Pleasure, and you're welcome on behalf of everybody who's on the show today. Yeah, that's critical. And I do a whole, just so you know, a whole workshop on this concept that it's, listen to this, everybody. And this is for you too, Sam, and everybody. When you're making a sales presentation, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's you to a couple, and I don't even like to use the word selling, because you shouldn't have to sell. You're solving a problem. These people want to go on vacation, and they're scared to book it themselves because they don't want to mess it up. So they're going to put the monkey on your back, and you're going to take it willingly, but you're not going to sell them something. You're going to solve their problems, because they're coming to you because they're afraid that if they book it, they're going to mess it up and they're going to miss out. So here's the big takeaway. Listen, everybody, write this down, please. It's not about you, and it's all about you. It's not about you, and it's all about you. I'm going to sip my organic coffee, and I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. It's not about you because you're there to solve a problem, to give them a gift, to be their beacon, to be their guiding light, to either provide information they desperately need, motivation they desperately seek, or the vacation they've been dreaming about. That's going to be better than if they did it on their own. Okay? You're there to help them. Okay? So that's what, it's not about me. It's about making sure that you don't focus first on making money. If I make this sale, I'm going to make $1. I got to make the sale. I got to make $1. I got to hit my numbers. I got to move product. If you go in with that attitude, it ain't going to work, because the people in the audience or that person or that couple are going to feel that. They're going to know that. You're not going to be successful, friends. But if you make it not about you, then they'll feel that you truly have an interest in helping them. Now, part 2 to that, and then we're going to go on to more questions and comments. I see, Lori, you posted. I'll be with you in just a second. Everybody, feel free to type. I want to see if anybody's going to turn their microphone on today. That it's all about you. You're like, but Stuart, that's like an oxymoron, and I've been called worse. It's all about you, meaning if they don't like you, if they don't believe you, if they don't trust you, if you are not established as credible, then they certainly won't get anything from you, let alone buy. If you're trying to sell them something, if it is to one-on-one or to a couple, they're not going to buy from you because they don't like you as a brand. You are the brand. They're buying you, right? You know, they could book an Amur Waterways stateroom, 1 million different places, right? But they're buying it from you because they want you. They're buying you, not necessarily Amur. They're buying you. You are the brand. That's why I've said that on your website and on your card, it should be, who am I marketing? In the words of Guy Kawasaki, who am I marketing? Which is, I don't need to hear about your deals and all the brands that you sell. I just want to know, who are you? Why should I come to you? How will you transform my life? Okay? So it's not about you, and it's all about you. Does that make sense? Does that resonate? Ooh, we're getting some good stuff here. I'm getting all excited. Lori says here, I've signed up to participate in a local garden fair. Attendance is 5,000 to 8,000 people over 3 days. I have a preformed, so group space. So you have group space. It's the Romantic Rhine River Cruise, trying to get in front of people, ideas. Okay, so basically, now this is interesting. So I would consider this a speculative group, right? This isn't necessarily an affinity group. So basically, you've blocked group space. Is that right, Lori? And you're going to see if you can tap the 5,000 to 8,000 people to see if they have interest in this cruise. And, you know, so Lori, is there a theme to the cruise, or is it just an opportunity? You've blocked a great deal. There's some kind of a special value proposition, and you're just going to sell into it, and basically the people may not know each other, or because it's a garden fair, is there some kind of connectivity? Now, I don't know, Lori, unless you want to put your microphone on. I'm asking a lot of questions. Because if this was for the Tulip Time cruise, then I can see a connection. Are you going to do something special? Is that your passion, your hobby, gardening, to appeal specifically to the people walking those aisles? Or is it, so that would be more of an affinity group where they don't know each other, but they want to go on this cruise because you're going to be doing some special stuff that they can all share an interest in, because they're obviously at the gardening fair. So there's a big difference there. And you know, so let me just see if you typed in any more about that, because I want to address it more specific. How do you try to get in front of the people? Because, you know, they're going to walk by that booth and you have seconds to either get them to come by and say hi or not. Lori says started something big, and she wants to showcase this cruise because of tulips. Okay, I got it. Cool. I want to get you out in front of the people. I love it. Okay. And try to turn mic on. Oh, okay. Lori, I'm going to put your microphone on. Oh, you're so good. You're bold. Hold on in, Lori. 1 second. I'm going to put your microphone on. Wow, what a great crowd, everybody. Welcome. And we have some folks I haven't seen in a long time. We've got some of our regulars. I see Jean Ann is here, Elaine is here, Drenda's here. I didn't say hello to you guys before. Jim and John. Carl is in the house. Awesome! This is so exciting. Lori's here. Hold on there. I'm going to get to you. Thelma's here. Yvonne's here. I promise. Okay, Lori, I'm going to turn your microphone on right now.
Hi, Stuart.
Lori? Hey,
Okay,
how are you?
great. Thank you for your suggestions.
You're welcome. Hey, if you can either lean in a little bit more, talk a little louder so everybody can hear you, then you can proceed with your question or your comment, and I'm really glad you put your mic on. Thank you.
Thank you. So for the garden show, I have 300 brochures being made, and I'm going to have a lot of different information available, but I'm going to be having a large TV that's going to have a feed with a lot of travel pictures, and just to kind of get people started talking with me.
Yeah, I think that's great. It's difficult, right, to get people to stop at a booth, and I think one of the most important things, Lori, that I try to do before I go to work a trade show or an event like that is, if I was walking the aisles, what would stop me? What would make me pause to go to that booth? One thing that scares me is when I see there's somebody back there sort of being aggressive and, try to sell something, right? You've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is a way for you to either have a sign or a poster or something to say, that one line, that one phrase that people can read or see, or if they have that brochure, it's big, they can see it, so they kind of know before they go. They know that, oh, I want that. What would that sentence be? If you had to boil down, if I asked you for your pitch or your elevator speech or your mantra, how are you going to help these people? What's the opportunity for these people walking around? And I don't know. Come see tulips in Holland. Whatever it is, and pull them in that way. Not selling too hard, but giving them something. The other thing, Lori, that I want to suggest is, it's one thing to give away 300 brochures and then go home to your office and sit, watch this, and wait by the phone to ring. It's another to get their information, to get their card. What's that?
I do have that ready.
Perfect.
So I can ask like a little form for them to sign up if they want, and let me know what they're interested in.
Yeah, I think that's great. One of the most valuable things I've learned with the new world we market in, and listen up, everybody, because this goes for everybody, is that it's no longer about how many cards you give out, and Lori, whether you're giving out cards or brochures, it's not about quantity of how much. It's just like networking too, but it's about building your list. Mm-hmm. Get them on your list, and whether they want to go on this particular cruise or not, you have them on your list. You made a new friend. So keep that in mind too, that maybe they're not interested in the river cruise, but they like you, and they see that you have a passion in this arena, and maybe they've got a destination wedding they want to plan. Maybe they got something else they could call you. Well, again, whatever the business you want. Mm-hmm. Indeed, invite them. Hey, may I have your email address and your name? It'd be great to be connected, because they may not be ready to book now, but somewhere down the line, and they remember meeting you. So I would even say it's the 60-40 rule. Focus 60% of your time on meeting people and getting their name, and 40% of the time giving out those brochures. Because once you give it out, You have no control over it beyond that, right? I mean, this makes logical sense, but it's a twist to how we normally work trade shows. What do you think? You're on board with that? You're already there?
Yes, yes. What do you think about a small, like a poster that would say show offer, free air if booked before June 23rd?
An offer, yeah. I think it's great. I'm not a big lover of, well, deals, those are always the hot button, of course. But, you could invite them to a free seminar, a free lecture on river cruise or something. An event, invite them to an event that you're going to do either live there for them or a webinar kind of a thing, or why not just say, hey, if you don't mind, I'll send you a PDF, just a one-page document on the 10 greatest things about a river cruise, or again, tie it into the event so they have interest, or the top 10 flowers you're going to see. I mean, I don't know, but maybe even a piece of paper that you say, you know what? It'd be my pleasure to send this to you. And that's how you get them on you. Because I'm a big believer in giving out free stuff. You know how I built boot camp, Lori? I built boot camp by giving out a ton of free stuff and enough people saying, you know what? I want more. I like what I'm getting. I want the rest of the story. And that's what you can do too. So yes, that's a great idea. And I want to read to you Judy, hey Judy, said as a recommendation with the form, maybe do a drawing to get all of their contact information. So you could do a drawing too. Some people may be leery. That might work. It depends on how you're feeling, if you like this. But there are a lot of different methods to getting the names. So I think you've got some good ideas here.
Thank you so much, Stuart.
You're welcome. And thank you for putting your microphone on. It's cool. All right, I'm going to shut your microphone, okay? All right, hold on there. Let's just shut that microphone, and then we're going to go on to the next question or issue, and I think you've already done it. There you go. Cool. See that? That wasn't so bad. Thank you so much, Lori. I'm grateful that you did that. All right, let's go back to the question board, see what else we got coming in. For those of you who joined in late, I want to welcome you. We do have a few guests in. I asked some folks who are not members of Boot Camp to be my guest here to see what we do here every other week. It's called the Ask Stuart Hour. As you can see, there's no script and only one slide, basically no slides. And I love it because it keeps me on my toes. You guys ask me questions, present opportunities, challenges, and there's best practice sharing too. I am going on vacation from May 31st to June 6th with my family's group of 10 people. We're going to the brand new Moon Palace at Jamaica Grand. Have you been? Have you heard about it? Very, very excited. So my email access, of course, I don't have to tell you, will be limited because I warned the kids that they can't be on their phones the whole time, so I promised them I wouldn't either. But of course, I'm always there for you as fast as I possibly can. But because of that, the next Ask Stuart Hour is not in 2 weeks from now. It's going to be June 9th and then June 21st. And we have two special guests. They're both very good friends of mine, and they have specific expertise in specific fields. All right, here we go. Let's see what else we got here. I'm going to go back here. Regina's comment, I have a Facebook group and church groups that I am contacting. I am still working on details, but I am getting the word out there and why they just want to travel with me. I will release details as I have them. I'm selling this trip without selling it, if that makes sense. So this is great. Thanks, Regina. This is a tag on to the conversation we had a few minutes ago about the passion play, right? About the passion play group. Right, is that she does have a Facebook group and church groups that she's contacting, and still working on details, but getting the word out there. So they're really, right now, this is sort of the whisper campaign. You're not revealing the details, but you're getting interested things. And one of the things, Regina, that I do recommend at boot camp, and I know, Diane, you've done it, and others are getting into it now, is doing that survey. That's a great way to engage, is doing an online survey. 2-3 questions. And if they're not interested in passion play, they will not complete the survey. But if they are, you've got yourself a list of interest, right? A list of interested parties. And because you're going in and you know, potentially these are church groups who don't know you and you don't know them, it may be a great entree in to get names of people who may be interested. And you're not selling anything. You're asking questions. You know, what's most important to you? If you ever were to go to a passion play event, what would be most important? What's on your list of things to do and see? You know, I don't know what those questions are, but the people who are interested are going to fill out that survey. And you're at the same time, that's the beginning of the marketing process. It's just part of group launch sequence. You're getting the word out. Most importantly, you're getting them, keyword, engaged. You're getting them engaged. And then you're going to thank them after. Hey, thanks so much. I got great feedback. And you're going to share the results. And then it'll be easy to take them to the next stage. Move them down that sequence of events that I teach in boot camp. And you're also going to get valuable feedback, aren't you, Regina? Because you may learn stuff, you may hear stuff that may help shape how you build this group. Now, I know it may be a plug-and-play group in terms of, you know, you're buying a specific tour, but still there's always room for some customization, is my guess. So it does make sense, Regina. I thank you for sharing that. So let me go forward now. Okay, totally agree with you. Yay! Totally agree with you on not having the main focus on passing out brochures. Now we're talking about the Garden Expo, the big show, like 5,000 people, but rather getting people's info. Often brochures go in the trash before people get home. Give away something small when people offer contact information and other info instead. Yeah. Okay. Lene, I appreciate this comment, and I want to go back to it. And you're right about those brochures. If they walk around collecting, 50, 100 brochures, they may not. Or if you hand stuff out and give it to them, they're going to drop it in the box. It'll be gone. So a little small tchotchke, which is going to be costly, but if it's something that's got your logo on it, maybe it's worth the investment so they take you home with them. Could be a pen. I don't know. Refrigerator magnets, do they still work? I don't know. Something like that they could take home and use. I like that too. And back in the day when I used to work a lot of trade shows, when I worked on the supplier side for Celebrity or Insight or Princess, the biggest trick in the book was putting out a bowl of candy. And they come over and they get a piece, and it's an opportunity to engage with them. Or we talked before about that drawing. You put a bowl out there, and you can start stuffing it with little pieces of paper, but that's where you're going to draw from. And I forget who it was that recommended some kind of a drawing. So that's great. I appreciate that. Judy says, I'm thinking about having a seminar on travel with family generational, family generational travel, okay? And invite some of my loyal customers and have them do a testimonial at that event and talk about traveling with family. I think it's great. The only thing, Judy, and I love because you're engaging your loyal customers too, but think about those loyal customers who you're going to ask to do a testimonial about traveling with family. What's in it for them? Why would they want to come and make a presentation, make a speech, give a testimonial? They may not have time. They may be afraid of public speaking, and we talked about that early on. So just think that all the way through. And maybe, and I'm just throwing this out there, if you're going to have a customer loyalty event, which I endorse, I embrace, do it. Because even if they don't come, you put it out there. You invited them to a special customer appreciation event. Have you ever done that before? Who's done that before? I'm a big believer in that. Maybe get some suppliers to come in and co-op it with you too. A couple of bucks, buy some food. But at least get it in writing. or say, hey, I know that this was your experience with your multi-generational, and they may not know the words, right, Judy, multi-generational family trip. So you got to use their language. And say, do you mind if I share this with the group because that's our subject? Or is there something that you want to share with me? And I'll be glad to share it during a presentation, either in a PDF that you're going to hand out or presentation. So you can say, oh, and my great friends, the Johnsons, are here. The Johnsons traveled with 3 generations, and they age and range from 2 to 94. And here's where we went, right, Miss Jones? And here were some of the obstacles, and here's how we overcame them. Just an idea. I hope that helps. Elaine says, just join the people. There's nothing to think about. Boot camp is fantastic. Thank you, Elaine. I appreciate that. Elaine is putting out a message here. I know you guys can't see what everybody's typing in. I wish you could. See, and I just did. I'm trying to eliminate the ums, but I caught myself. Elaine is giving a message to those of you who are here as my guest, not a part of boot camp, to experience this. I'm grateful that you're here. And she says, just join, people. 4 exclamation points. There's nothing to think about. Boot camp is fantastic. That's very kind, Elaine. Thank you very, very much. Rodney says, if there is a group cruise tour, where is it implied or assumed by group members that the agent will accompany the group? How do you position building in the price of you and spouse without it seeming as the agent is getting a free trip? Rodney, you ask a great question. I'm going to read it one more time, everybody, and give me your thoughts if you've ever been an escort and if you've done it free or if you've made money. Because I don't believe you should be doing anything free, especially if you're going there to escort and accompany the group. If there is a group cruise tour, where is implied or assumed to group members that the agent will accompany the group? So that first part is, I'm not sure it's assumed or implied, Rodney. I think they're either going to tell you right up front, they want you there, they need you there, or they won't. And you know you need to be there. I'm going to get back to that in a second. Hold that thought. How do you position building in the price of you and potentially a spouse without it seeming as if you're going getting a free trip? Wow, this is great stuff. And I do have a whole, my gosh, in the week 4, I have a PDF of 92 tips to be an amazing escort. I did again. See that? Oh, wow. But how do you do just that? So if the group comes to you and says, we need you to be there, then you got to be there. And when they say, Rodney, because the next thing they're going to say is, but we're not paying for you to be there. You're making enough money. Then you're going to say, I said it again. You're going to say, don't worry about paying me. I'm not going to send you an invoice. I'm not going to send you a bill for me to be there. You're right. I need to be there. You don't want to deal with all the stresses of on-site event management because you want to have a good time too, right? Yes. You don't want all the stress, right? It's not your job to do that. You're there to participate with all the members of the group, right? That's why you hired me. So, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, as the travel professional you hired to make sure this event is promoted right, sells right, has great customer service, and is delivered to perfection, you have to have me there because I won't take this gig unless I'm there because there's too many opportunities for failure. So I will go to stay behind the scenes and a step ahead. Behind the scenes and a step ahead to make sure that when you walk into that room, it's set, it's perfect. I will set up a hospitality table with set hours so your people can come to me and not drive you crazy. I will be there to reduce stress and risk. I will be there to increase value and convenience, and I will be there to transform this trip for you and for everybody else. Don't worry about getting an invoice. It's all going to be packaged in. I'll say it again. It's all going to be packaged in. So the secret there is that you're building yourself in, and the cost of you being there, into the package. That's why boot camp stresses that one of the biggest secrets to success selling groups is to present a more inclusive, high-value package that includes all the things that they never thought of including, all the things that they would have ended up buying when they get there. That's going to be more money, stressful because they have to wait online, so forth and so on. All the things that they never knew even existed, that when they get there, they said, oh man, if I had only known, I would have loved to do this. Well, you're going to build it in, and you're going to build you into. I had a one-on-one coaching session with somebody who was asked to put a bid in for an incentive group. And the incentive group, and this is unusual, incentive groups usually, they spend good money and they want you there, and they say, no problem, whatever the price is, They have a budget, but they're not going to be as critical as a leisure group of saying to you, I'm not paying for you to be there. But they did. And I said, you go back there and said, don't worry about it. If I'm not there, I'm not taking the gig. And if you book it with somebody else, you don't want to book with somebody else who's not going to be there, because this is an incentive group in her case. This is for your top producers. This is an amazing testament to to being loyal to them, to thank them for their loyalty to you, whether they're employees or customers. Don't worry about getting an invoice from me. You won't. I will be everything will be built into the package, because I am a pro at creating a package that will provide all the value. Everything's baked in. Don't worry about it. Just say, don't worry about it. Does that help, Rodney? Tell me if it does. Regina says, thank you. Now we're going back to Regina's group. It's a plug-in group, but so this is the passion play. But they have asked for my input, so I have been able to customize the itinerary. Awesome. I used to live in the area, so I have lots of ideas for this. Thanks for your help. You're very, very welcome, Regina. So tell me, Rodney, if that helped. We've got 2 minutes left. Stick with me. I will tell you when class is dismissed, when there's nothing else coming through. But I do want to acknowledge Linda. Linda had posted on our Facebook group and sent a picture. She posted a picture of Linda working a trade show. So interesting. This could be of good help for you, Lori. In boot camp, she posted a picture. She attended a women's expo, I believe it was, and walked away with a great list of, and let's not call them leads. I don't think she did, but a list of opportunities, of new friends. You want to go there, Lord. You want to make friends. And when Linda made this post, it sounds like she did. Those were her intentions. Not to go make a sale, but to go make new friends. Who are you there to help? Who needs your help? Who can you help? Build your list. Build your list. And whether they're ready to buy from you today or in 6 months from now, they're on your list. And if they know anybody, maybe they'll send them your way because they're on your list. And you didn't try to do a quick, fast sell. Rodney, you're very welcome. And Jalal, hey, Jalal's in the house. Welcome, Jalal. Just joined late. We'll listen to the web. Absolutely. I will record this and upload it. So we've got 60 seconds left. 60 seconds left. I'll give you the official countdown when it's going to be over and out. I'll give you the official countdown. Anybody else? A question? A comment? Bring it now. And remember, in between the time in our next Ask Stuart Hour, which will be June 9th, please be sure and sign up. I've invited 2 great friends. They're experts. One's a technology expert, Darla Graber, great friend. She invented a product that does groups. It's group software. I don't know if any of you guys use it. And again, this is I don't do selling at boot camp of vendors, but I bring in experts to talk about solutions to help you in areas, because we did insurance, we've done already so many people. And then June 21st is my friend Joff. He runs one of the most successful all-inclusive resort businesses in the country. They specialize in groups too. I'm sure we'll talk about destination weddings. June 20, make sure you sign up for that. Lori says, thank you so much. You are very welcome. I am grateful that you came here, Lori. And Jalal says, am I coming to Vancouver for CLIA? Nope. Nope. I did their keynote a year or two back, and I have not been invited back yet. Normally it's cycles. So I would love to be there because Vancouver is my favorite city. But they have not asked me to come back for this year. Maybe next year. That's it, everybody. Hey, Ruth says, glad I signed up. I'm so glad you were here, Ruth. I'm glad too. Welcome, brand new member. Yep, maybe next time. Jalal says, Regina, we're winding down 10 seconds. Regina says, referring to the cruise tour package, how do we get the cruise line to increase the price to include the room? Well, because you have to make sure you work with a vendor that allows an overpayment. Okay, they have to accept an overpayment, so you build in these extra charges. This is a huge topic we've talked about a million times, but real quick answer, because I've got to end and respect everybody's schedule. Use a vendor that allows you to overcharge so that you make more than just the commission, of course, that ends up coming back, of course, to pay for your stateroom. And, of course, you're going to use the token because you earn for that as well. You're very welcome, Jalal. Regina says thanks. And that's it, folks. Over and out. It's a wrap. We're done. I wish you happy sales. I wish you the best of success getting your group revolution off the ground.